Hello everyone. Hi, I hope you're all very well. I am just, as usual, just getting set up and hoping that you guys can see me. Yes, there we go. I'm going to turn down my noise. Oh, I've turned up my noise. There we go. That's better. Hello to Jenny and Janet. Oh, I can see comments. I can see what's happening. That's awesome. Yay. Excellent. I hope you're all well this evening. I hope you're not too melting like me. Hello, Julie. Lovely to see you all. It's pretty warm here at the moment, so yeah, it's I've been fully melting all day, and you know when you're not able to just get away from the sunshine, it just makes your head a bit fuzzy, doesn't it? So let's hope that we can make something today and that we're not all too hot. So hello to Janet, Alison's with us, Jackie, Natalia, hello, for tuning in a day early to our usual schedule. Hello Blake and Harry, how are you two? How are you doing? Are you hot? Are you getting to play out, or is it too hot to play at the moment? I know it's from our point of view, it's just every movement seems to be a bit of an effort when you're outside at the moment because it's just so warm. So the reason for the change of day is I briefly mentioned in the post that I am going to be out for the day tomorrow with my niece and my sister and my mum and dad. We're all going to Yorkshire Wildlife Park for the day, so to celebrate her 10th birthday, the big 10. So goodness only knows how we're going to get on, because apparently it's going to be 29 degrees tomorrow, which is going to be wow. So hopefully we'll be able to keep nice and cool somehow, otherwise we'll all be fainting. But yeah, I love Yorkshire Wildlife Park. If you haven't been, if you're in the UK and you've not been, you should definitely pay it a visit, because it's a great place, great conservation place. They've got some amazing animals that they've rescued, so it's great, a great place to visit. So we're going to really enjoy that. It's just a shame that Ant's working and he can't come with us. So hence the reason for changing the date, because when we come back tomorrow, I think we'll probably be a bit zonked. So Natalia says it's so hot, we're sat outside and it's lovely here now. I know it's cooled down a little bit. Alison says Oscar's here too. Last day of school tomorrow, so he can stay up and watch a bit. Hello Oscar, that's good news. Catherine's with us. Debbie, hello to you. Julie says it's 29 degrees in your flat and was 28 when you woke this morning. Good grief. I know, it's just super melty, and Ant really struggles. He loves sunshine, but he really doesn't he can't sleep if it's too hot, so he's been struggling sleeping, bless him. Esther, hello, Naomi and Nicola. So, shall we get started? I've got a bit of a plan for tonight, and I'm hoping to keep it quite clean and simple so that we can all go and cool down, because I will also tell, although I've got the window wide open in here, I have got all of the studio lights on, so it's a bit warmer, even more so in here. So yeah, so it might be famous last words. Let's see what we get done. So my plan is to make something with our cute sloths, which I've not used these guys for ages, and I absolutely love these guys. They're so adorable. So I wanted to make a little scene with these guys, and I don't seem to have the stencil, and I can't remember what it was called now, because it's an old stencil. I think we've possibly sold out of it anyway, the stencil that matched with that particular set. So I'm going to use this, which I think is the Lovely Leaves. Yes, it is. It's the Lovely Leaves stencil, which is a super cool stencil, and these look kind of tropical leaves. So I'm going to use that in my background. But rather than do the whole piece, I thought I'd use one of our masking stencils here, which are really super cool, to mask off a portion of it. And I've not decided whether I want to use the large rectangle or the large. So yes, I'm not quite sure which one I want to do. So we could have our large rectangle, and then we could have our little sloths. Let's get our little sloths out and see which ones we want to use. So get a little bit of my white cardstock here. Pop this behind, so you can see that I think you can just about see on the screen there that there are some etched lines. These etched lines match up with either A6 cardstock, which we're using here, or A2 size cardstock, so that you can make sure that you've got your card fully lined up central. Alice and Chelsea's voting for the rectangle. So yeah, and then I thought, because it does give me a little bit more real estate, you see, so I can have my little sloths just hanging down. Oh, I've got a bit of fluff on him. And then I need a sentiment as well. So, and I quite like the sentiment, let's hang out, and the take it easy is quite cool. And then we can have some of the little accessories in there as well, the little flowers, some extra little tropical leaves just hanging about, which would be quite cute. And then maybe we could have a couple of sentiments. That's the plan anyhow. So yeah, I think maybe rectangle would look quite cute. Okay, so I'll just pop them to one side. Natalie says she doesn't have that set, but she's going to need, but I'm going to need it after this. Am I? Probably. Jen, how are you? Loving the change of name there. Being hot here too, only 75 Fahrenheit. Friday it's back over 90. Wow. Yes, it's a scorcher. So I'm going to use, my plan is, I think, to use an A2 size card. What have I done with my... Please tell me that I didn't forget the one card that I actually went down for. Well, that's going to absolutely infuriate me. So I specifically went into my stocks downstairs to find myself some of our really lovely dark forest green card blanks, and it seems that I brought up every other colour apart from that, which is so annoying. So, but don't worry, because I'll make my own card blank here, because I'm going to use an A6 size card base anyway, I think. So and I might go with a brighter green now as a result. No, I'm going to go with the darker green because I just think it's going to look really super cool on this really nice forest green. Sorry, I am here. I am just foraging around. Why am I only pulling out bits that have already been cut? Have I already cut all of these? It's very annoying. Oh, I wonder if Aunt might go get me one. Ah, there we go, that's a full sheet. Or I could have just cut a piece to go on the front. Oh, thank you whoever shared the stamp set, that's fab. So, and to Alison, you've not missed anything. So, to make my own card base, don't do this an awful lot, so let me just figure out how to use my scoreboard. So this is a trimmer and scoreboard, so you can actually turn this around and make it into a full scoreboard, which is pretty cool. So you can use it like so. But I just need to check the size of an A6 because I'm not sure I actually know the size of an A6 size piece of cardstock. So there we go. And then we can flip it around this way and pop my piece of card at the bottom. Actually, I don't know if you can see this, sorry, I've not got enough room on my desk to move it right the way up for you to be able to see, I'm afraid, guys. And then this groove here looks like the closest, and yeah, that's going to be a little bit long on one side, but that's fine, we can trim it down. So I can then flip this back around and it now becomes my trimmer, and I can pop that in there in this little groove, and then trim down there. And this side, which side was the one that was that side, wasn't it? And then just fold it along my score line there, and there where it's a little bit too long, just smooth that over. I can just trim that edge off again using my trimmer just to get that tidied up, and that's perfect. And now we've got a perfect sized A6, which is cool. So let's pop that back in yonder. I can fit it in. I'm going to tray there. There we go. So yes, let's have a look. Because now I've done that, you see, what I'm wanting is there to be a little bit of this showing around the outside. So I'm going to cut this down slightly with my A6 nesting dies. They're my A2 ones. Sorry, my layering dies, not my nesting dies. So these are my layering dies. And I have got another card blank there. It's a little bit narrower than, but not by much. So we've created 2 cards there, which is good. Hello to Maria. How are you? I'm telling you, it gets mentioned every time a new release is coming up, doing the bank robbery. Yeah. You love a good heist, you guys. So I'm just going to check with my, because I don't want to have a situation going on. So I don't want to remove too much of this white space that we're going to have. But I do want to be able to see some of the green. So if I went with the second largest, we'd get that effect. So that one's not gonna, there's not gonna be loads of white space. So let's have a look, see what we think. That's a bit of green, and that's a lot less green. To know more green, more white. I think I'm going to go with this size. We can always make it smaller, but we can't make it bigger, can we? Do you know what I'm saying? So let's trim this down to the size that we want. In fact, no, I'm not going to trim it first. No, right, so backtrack, ignore me. I'm going to do my stenciling first, because the reason that I'm going to do that is because this template has got the etching line that is perfectly sized for this. So it will be perfect in the middle regardless. So when I trim it down, it will still be perfectly in the middle, if that makes sense. So let's line this up. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to put my tape on the back, and I'm putting my mask down first, and then I'm going to pop the other stencil on top of this. So then we will only get pattern in the centre of our masked area. So it's telling me that this is the top, so I'm going to pop that around there, and then I'm going to, in fact what I'm going to do first of all is lay a tiny bit of where is my Twisted Citron. I'm going to use a little bit of Twisted Citron in the background here. Do I have a green? Yes, I do. Excellent. So I'm going to use my larger brush here just to lay a little bit of this green. Because I don't want any white showing through behind these leaves. So this brush is super soft and is just amazing for just covering a large area. And I'm just going to do this, you know, a little bit lighter in some areas, a little bit darker in others, but I'm just getting a really, really beautiful blend all over. I'm working on being a little bit more gentle with my blending, and the brushes are really helping me with that for sure. So that's the so we'd all be in jail and you're not able to take craft tools as it's too dangerous, but we'd get lots of colouring done. We would. I'm sure that's probably considered a therapy, isn't it, while you're in there, is doing a bit of crafting. I'm sure I remember actually Linda Chapman, who is on Create and Craft, saying that she'd been into a prison somewhere, doing some crafting for inmates, which was very, very cool. So yeah, it, you know, I might be able to come and see you while you're there. We'll do some workshops. It's, to be honest with you, it's a good job I own a craft business, otherwise I'd be joining you for definite on these heists. So right, I'm going to lay this on top now. Let's go for this. And I've pulled out a few like different shades of green here. So I've got a crushed olive, peeled paint and forest moss. I don't know which ones I'm going to use necessarily, but I think that the crushed olive and the peeled paint look like good contenders. And I'm going to get one of my darker green brushes out here. I'm just going to check to see if I've got one that's already been utilised, but I can't see one actually. I'm sure I'd have used one, but probably some tucked away somewhere. So this is my lovely darker green, like a sage green, and I love this colour. Love it. Has this one been used? No, that one's super clean too. Oh, lovely, nice new clean brushes. So let's try some of this crushed olive first and just see what this looks like. And the thing with this is that, you know, I'm using quite traditional type colours. Let me just have a look, see what I think to that. Oh, I quite like that, yeah. So I feel like I should stick this down a little because I don't want it to move around too much. My hands feel super sticky. So let's just make sure that that is lined up. Stick that down. So in terms of the bank robbery and a new release, there is a new release coming up, and that will be next week. So next Thursday actually, so it is an earlier date. So again, there won't be a Facebook Live on Thursday next week because I will be at Create and Craft. So I will possibly be home in time, but I will probably be completely done in, as I usually am after these things. Excuse me. But there will be 2 Facebook Lives next week. One on Tuesday, with our first reveal of the new release, and then one on Friday. So, sorry, one on Wednesday. What am I talking about? The sun has fried my brain. So I'm going to go all over this, I think, with this crushed olive to begin with. No, I might just do spots actually. I was trying to decide whether I wanted to do all of it. But I think I'm just going to do a few spots here. And then I'm going to add some more depth of colour with some of my other greens. Just so that it doesn't look too flat. I want to give a little bit of different kind of depths of colour and so on. So I'll just give that a little rub off, and I'm going to try this peeled paint, which is a bit of a new colour for me. Oh, I love this. This is a nice colour. So this is going to add a little bit of a darker green to our, I think is going to look really cool. So yes, so new release reveals on Tuesday and Wednesday next week, which is super exciting. The team have been sending me samples all week, so I have received some. Natalia, I've received yours. Vicky, if Vicky is watching, I've received yours. I've also had some, I've actually had some from Annalisa, which she will tell you that very rarely happens in time for a new release because of the post there in Canada. It can be a bit tricky. So the fact that she's actually been able to post them to me in time this time is just like, wow, we're loving that, aren't we? So so that's really cool. So yeah, so I'm really excited, and I will be going on Create and Craft with some of the new release. So there will be some packages that are exclusive to them, some bundles. So do take a look at those. But then there will be some products that we won't have on Create and Craft that will be only available on our website. So obviously it's up to you where you make your purchase. It's all good to us. We don't mind if you make your purchase with Create and Craft or with your local store. If you're in Europe, we love that too. So or if you purchase from Create and Craft, you know, if you're elsewhere. Another really bit of exciting news that I'd like to share with you as well, which is hot off the press news, is that for our wonderful tea timers that are in the States, who up until now haven't been able to get our Time for Tea products in their local area across there, that is all set to change as of next week. So I will let you know for definite when our items have gone live, but we will be available via Simon Says Stamp from next week. I'm so excited. They won't have our full range straight away. They will have the new release when it goes live, and they will also have some other products from the last release and some other items as well available once they're listed next week. So yeah, so that's really exciting for us. It means now that we are available in the States, in Europe and the UK. So lots of options for you to be able to purchase from us and get your Time for Tea goodies all over the world, which is great news. So let's take this. Oh, that looks so pretty. I really like that. Let me move that out of the way because I'm going to get bits of green all over me. And then you can see as we take off the mask how that's created that really pretty just clean edge. So let me get my my little cleaning tool, clean these stencils up. Doesn't that look amazing? I love these greens as well, they look so cool. So we'll just give that one a clean up as we go. It's always the best way. And let's take these bits of tape up as well. So So yeah, so some super exciting news there. It's been so busy. We've got shipments going out to our big retailers then in Europe and in America now. We've also got a big shipment going to Create and Craft. So there's lots and lots going on at the moment, which is really, really exciting. So we're just, you know, we're just so thrilled that you guys are, you know, love what we do and are helping us do what we do. And that we have a lot of items at the moment that are currently running low or out of stock that I've put a big order in for. So if there are any of your favourites that are out of stock at the moment, then just hang on, because we will be getting those back in stock really, really soon. I can't keep up with you all, that's the problem. So let's have a look here. Oh, I'm missing out on some comments here. Annalisa's taking time for tea photos in the sun. Harry's super excited for 2 lives next week. Mainly to get kids in on the heist as well, as you feel Harry's going to want to get more than you limit yourself to, possibly. Natalie says she's glad they're out. Woohoo! Love it when cards are in the lives, and hopefully on TV too. They arrived in time for tea. Excellent joke, I love it. And Lisa says this is such exciting news. Amazing, well done. Yes, let your American and South American crafty friends know, Natalia, because the lady that the buyer there at Simon Says Stamp said she's going to let me know as soon as they go live. So that Yvonne says brilliant news. They also ship to Canada, and the shipping isn't horrific. Yes, which it can be, as we know from elsewhere. So yeah, so that's funny, isn't it? Right, let's see. Let's see. Was this my choice? I think this one was my choice, wasn't it? We'll try, like I said, we'll try this one first, but we've no need to stick to this one, because we can always go smaller. We can't put it back once it's gone. So I'm going to pop this through my machine, through my Gemini. So apologies for the noise, for some brief noise. I just think that pattern looks so cool. It's very classy. That made such a loud crack, it scared me to death. I was like, what's happened? So yeah, it did make a super loud noise. Apologies for that. Right, let's get that there. But I also knocked something off the table at the same time, so that was probably the extra noise. Okay. So I'm going to carefully remove this by peeling it back like so, which is meant to be the gentle way of removing your tape so that it doesn't rip your cardstock, because I'm a bit of a devil for doing that. So now we've got our background, which I think is really cute. And I had decided on doing a portrait style card, but what do we think to a landscape? That's kind of cool, isn't it? I feel like the proportions seem better. I don't know, let's have a look, because you're going to have this guy here. Quite like it this way, and then we're going to have this guy here, but they're almost going to be touching, aren't they? I do think that's cute. And then we've got Let's Hang Out, which can pop along there, and maybe have a bit of a relax Max. Quite like that. Yes, it is cute either way, but I'm partial to a landscape view, so I think we'll go with that. So I need some of my stamping card here. So let me grab some of this and we'll stamp out our little guys. I'll get my stamping platform at the ready. Here we go. And I've forgotten how I coloured these up in the past actually. I think I've done them in shades of, actually I think I may have got an example. So you know, do you remember when we've talked previously about doing little swatches and things? I don't have a swatch for these guys, but I probably should. There we go. And I have got a little idea. A little idea for the background, but we'll come back to that. Okay. Natalie says her phone's about to die, so she'll catch up on the rest of the live tomorrow, but it was great to be back for a bit. Brother and his family were with us in the house till August, so it's been a bit busy the past few weeks. Oh wow, I put that in upside down like a silly sausage. I feel like there might not be enough room for that one. That's better. Well, thank you for joining us, however briefly. It's lovely to have you, and we'll see you next week for the live reveal. Woo. I can't believe it's next week already. Wow. Feels a while though since we've had a release, doesn't it? Don't you think? I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. Right, so let's get this. Oh, I know what we could do. Just had an awesome idea. I need to just do that one more time. So I'm tapping this several times just to get plenty of ink on there. I always feel like that my ink pad might be a little bit on the dry side because we're under these hot lights, so I'm just using my my cloth to just help me get a little bit more of an impression, and just where there's a couple of areas where I feel it's still not quite giving me the darkest impression. I can just, because of the stamping platform, I can just keep going over it, and that's much better. Excellent. Okay, so just give this a little wipe. And then with the little ones, I might do a couple more of these. So I'm just going to use my ink pad direct to paper. Hello to Sue. Lindsay says, have I missed something? We're live on a Wednesday. Yes, you must have missed the update because I've had to change because I'm going to Yorkshire Wildlife Park tomorrow, Lindsay, with my niece for her 10th birthday, which is super cool. So yes, so that's why we've had to move it. And there won't be a live next Thursday either. Hello, Zamara. Because we're going to be at Create and Craft next week. So it's all changed. I was considering changing them to Friday, but I thought, yeah, I know that Leslie at Heavy Doodle does Fridays. I know a lot of you like to watch her on a Friday. Plus, I thought after going to the Wildlife Park, I might be a bit, like I say, a bit zonked anyway, and then also after Create and Craft I will probably have a lot of orders that I need to sort out. So I thought, do you know what, it's probably best that I make it the day before. then we know we're definitely going to be able to do it. So now then, I'm just thinking, shall I stamp my sentiments while we're on a roll? And I don't know whether, I think I might be inclined to do my sentiments in this green, this dark green. Let me see if I've got any scraps. That's black. This is green. So I don't think I've got any big enough green scraps. That looks quite small. But I did have a thought that I'm going to use some of these leafy bits from the Spring Bloom set, because I think they might look really cool behind our little characters. So I'm going to use some stock that I've got here. I've got a few bits that I can cut down to size. So let me just snip. And I think I'm going to do some heat embossing, which we've not done for a while, have we? We do love a bit of heat embossing. So I'm just going to stick that in the corner there. And then we're going to use Relax and the Let's Hang Out, like so. Now there's other dies to cut those. I think there's one to cut out the Relax, but not the other one, which is fine. So let's pick those guys up, and then I'm going to use some anti-static. Thank you, Lindsay. It will be lovely. I do love going there. Ant and I went there on our 3rd date together. So I've got some very good memories of it there. So we did. We had a lovely, lovely day. And like I say, they are very big on conservation, and it's a lovely setup they've got there. And I know that obviously over COVID, because people haven't been able to visit places like that, they've been struggling, you know, financially. So it's good to be able to go now that we're able to do such things and support them. So that's great. I think I'm going to do it. I was thinking about doing it in gold. What do you think? I thought gold might be a little bit different, so I'm going to try it. Where's my gold? So I've got some of this metallic gold, and I'm just going to pop that on there, and that seems to have done a pretty good job actually. So I'll pop that to one side. So now my powder is on there. It's not going to, you know, it's not set, but it's not going to budge. So you just have to be a little bit speedy until you've got the ink on there, because the powder on there, because you don't want your ink to dry out. It will only work with the powder while the ink is still wet. So let's some more heat. This will be fun. Sorry for the noise. I'll use my tweezers to hold this so I don't have to get too close. I love that. I think that looks really cool. Yes, lily like. Yes. So we'll just let that dry back a little bit, just cool down. So I was going to do on my background here a little bit of heat embossing here as well, which I thought might be quite cute. Because in the set there are some tiny little stamps. So we've got some stars, we've got some little flowers as well. There's this tiny little butterfly, and I thought, I wonder if they'd be quite cute, just dotted about the place. and given a little bit of a heat emboss on my background. So I'm thinking let's go for it while we're heat embossing. I'm not going to do lots because I don't want to overpower this pretty background, but I think it might tie in with some of the gold that we're popping onto the sentiment there. Can't really see where I've already done now, but I think I'm okay with that. We can always go back and add more if we feel it doesn't look quite right. And again, I'm trying to be a little bit quick with it because with it being so warm at the moment, oh, that's quite cute, isn't it? Now I know I'm going to have a sentiment here and a sentiment up here, which is why anything up there. I've got a little bit of bits that have got stuck, so I'm just going to brush those away. Just so that it can be as clean as possible. I probably didn't go right into this corner, did I? Now I've just wiped some of the actual flour away, but I don't think you'll notice it. We might get away with it. And I know that I might cover up some of this with my little critters, but hopefully some of them will poke through. Okay. And we'll do the same thing again. I'm going to use my tweezers to hang on to this, and I'm going to just put the lid back on my embossing ink so it doesn't dry out. Oh, that looks really super cute. I like it. It's a very pretty background. You could, if you wanted, I mean, a background like this would look lovely with just a really simple sentiment on the front. I think that looks really, really very classy as an effect. Okay, pop them up there. Clean off my tiny little flower, and I love using little accent stamps like this one for doing things like that, because that's what they were designed for, and that's what they're perfect for, is just little background accents. So what is everybody else up to on this super warm evening? Hello Alice, you've not missed too much. Thank you for joining us on this mega warm evening. So I'm going to colour my images in now, and then we'll figure out if we need any other little embellishments in the background. So this is my little book of tricks, which I think I've shown you guys before. And what I have got in here is some of these little guys that I'd already coloured. So this is one of my little sloths that I've coloured before, and I'm going to use him as a little bit of a reference for my colour scheme. And I may even pop him into my little book here. So this is my little colour theory book. And I've got a number of different little things in here. some that I might not be able to show you actually, because I think some of them are a sneak peek. Yes, so I need to be careful. So I might stick him on the back of here and add some notes. And I think, looking at him, I'll have used shades of E40, I think, and then warm grey for his eyes. So I'm going to stick him in here, stick him down, and then we'll work out how I've coloured him in as we go. There we go. And I do believe, oh, I'll just use this actually. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing. Julie says she's currently colouring in. I've been doing so most of the day. Boys are eating ice creams at the moment to cool them down a tad. Oh, that sounds really good. Laura's trying to settle the kids. Siobhan's die cutting. What are you die cutting? But cooking them, yeah, that's probably about right. We could all cook in this heat, couldn't we? I should also mention that the aunt, bless him, is suffering with a bit of toothache at the moment. He's got a poorly tooth and it's giving him all kinds of pain. So not only is he roasting, he's also in pain, which is awful. It's too many things going on, isn't it? So let's look at the my E43 or E53. Yeah, I'm going to say that this is probably, yeah, I think he is probably the E40 shades to begin with, and then E50. I don't think he's, no, he's not the E30s, so E40, here we go. Let's try this one. That seems a bit grey, doesn't it? Maybe he is more the brown of the E50s. I think that they are too grey. So E50, E51, a bit of E55. Yeah, I think that's a good shout. So let's try, what's this one? E51 and E53. So oh dear, yeah, tooth pain is because it gets right into your head, doesn't it? Clove oil is good for, yeah, I've heard that. Oh dear. It sounds like you're all having very busy days, bless you. So I think you, with the clove oil, I think you just rub it onto the area that hurts, is what I've previously understood. So I'm just going to try the E50 shades with these little guys. I think that they are predominantly going to be more of this, the darker shade. So just leaving a little bit of highlight on his butt. Yeah, I think this is closer to what I was going for. And then E55 will add the depth and shadow. Yeah, I think that looks like the colour scheme that we went for. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So E53 is the mid-tone. So just blend in that darker shade of E55. And then finally the E51 is our lighter shade. And these are so easy to colour, look. How easy is that? Really easy. So I'm going to write this down. So we've got E51 E53 and E55. So that's body. Face is going to be lighter shades of the E50. So I believe I will have gone in with the E50 on the majority of his face there. And then I'll have used the E51 to add in a bit of colour. That's cute. And then for the eyes, I will have used, I believe, some warm greys. So 3. Put that all over. I'm doing these one at a time. If I was doing this normally, I would probably colour them both at the same time, but I'm doing this one at a time because I'm testing my colour theory out. So, sorry if you can hear noise outside as well, but I have got to have the windows open. It's just the law. I couldn't possibly be functioning without the windows open, so apologies if it is a bit noisy in the background there. So we've now got we've got our colour combos here. So the face was E50 and E51 and some R20 for the cheeks, and then the eyes are warm grey 3 and warm grey 5. There we go. I don't know why I didn't do that in the same method as my other, but never mind. This is just my own personal little record of what we're doing. So, got a little bit of a bleed there, which I don't normally get on this paper, which is weird. Okay, so let's do this guy. So going in with my E50 and E51. Really simple colouring for that, and a bit of the, did I put my warm grey 3 back? No? You can't hear anything in the background, that's good. I just could hear people on our street and a few car doors slamming and things, and so thankfully it's not too loud for you guys to hear, which is good. We our neighbours on the back were having a bit of a party yesterday in the garden, and it was quite noisy. They've quite, it's much quieter today, which is good. Salt water. So you put a cut on a cotton bud and dip a small bit in. Oh, and then put it on the tooth only, not on the gum. Oh, I understand. Thank you, Alice. Zamara's making Christmas cards and doing some watercolouring. Do you know what? I did wonder whether it might be a good idea to be doing something like a Christmas card to make me feel a bit cooler, rather than doing something that's sunshiny. But I wasn't really in the mood for Christmas cards yet. I have put in a large order, like I say, of some of our out of stock stamps, and a lot of them are our Christmas and winter type stamps, so they will be back in stock soon if you're working on your Christmas cards. Whiskey, what a good shout. We've got whiskey, we haven't got clove oil, so he might have to resort to that, bless him. Okay, so just adding a bit of colour here. Oh, can you hear the doggy in the background? Alice says she loves these sloths. We've a teddy sloth from when we got the sofa. Oh, how cute! Yes, I know the. Is it the? Oh, can't remember the name of the brand, but it's called the tagline is Sophology, isn't it? I'm sure it is. And is it Thingy Wilson who does the adverts, or he used to do? Owen Wilson, that's his name. Goodness, the sun really does fry the brain. Okay, so a little bit of quick blending on our little slothies here. And then we'll do the trees. So because we've one of the reasons for using that kind of I mean, that is more true to the colour of what I would imagine a sloth colouring would be. But we also then want to create a bit of a distinction with the trees, don't we? So we don't want the trees to be too close in colour. So let's try some E30 shades, I think, for our trees. That seems too close to me, so I could go for that is a very red, rich red, isn't it? Yeah, I quite like that. Right, so I'm going to go with a brown. a brown. So I'm hogging onto my colour here. So this is E13, which is a really nice shade of brown. It's actually called light suntan. I mean, I don't think that I ever tanned quite this shade, but you can see what they're going for, and it does actually work quite well when you're doing skin tones. So E15 is the dark suntan, and again it does give you a bit of a redder kind of tree, or you know, like a bit of a redwood tree, which I think will be quite cool. I think it'll stand out quite nicely against our dark green background. You see, this is my thought process, is that it's something that stands out against that green. So just blending those edges together like so. And then this is the E08, which is actually meant to be true brown, but I think that looks very kind of orange to me, but I think it's going to add a real flavour of a redwood tree. So I do like to use this for a different take on a tree colouring. So back to the E15, just to kind of merge those bits together and deepen any shadows that we may have overlooked, so that kind of under his arm there. With that, I think that looks pretty cool. So hot even the trees get a suntan, exactly. That is exactly it. There we go, that's quite cute. We're now looking at, let's get some of this back. Some lovely shades of green. Oh, I didn't give them any little pinky cheeks. Let's get a little dab of cheek. Yeah. So for the cheeks there, for the leaves even, let's have a look at some cool colours here, some nice green shades. Oh, bless me. Sorry about that, I had to have a little sneeze. What have I got here? I love this. There's some really lovely shades of green that you can get in your Copic markers. Some really nice bright shades, some cooler shades. So thinking about our background here that we've got, I want them to stand out a little bit. I don't want them to blend in with the background, but I want them to kind of match tonally, if you like. So I think this is a really nice colour of green. So we'll pop some of that on there. And I'm going to colour these leaves in as well. I don't know yet if I'm actually going to use these. I haven't fully committed to that action yet. Oh, that's nice and dark, isn't it? Don't know if I want to go quite that dark. What's this one? I think that one's too close to the background. I might go with more of this kind of a shade. Oh, pretty, pretty, pretty. Let's try this. And again, I'm just colouring these in super, super fast. I'm not really thinking too much about it. Just getting that colour down, really. There we go. And what I am doing is I'm giving each layer a little bit of time to dry before I add in any more colour. And that's purely because we're working in really small areas, particularly with these leaves here. There's not a lot of room there for things to move, so it means that you could end up with a little bit of a bleed if you're not careful. So I like to not always go right to the very edges, just so as not to create any bleed. And then with this one, we need a little bit of a darker colour, don't we? Just to calm down this really bright green. But I do like the green. This is one of my go-to shades of green, I think. The YG 2325. Any of the YG kind of colours, really. I like the YG01 is great. I just feel that sometimes I need a little bit of a darker shade here, and there really isn't one that is perfect in my opinion. They all just seem a little bit too green, but this one, the YG17, sorry, that was YG17, that one's pretty good. That's pretty close. That one will do for me, I think, just to darken it up a little. And then for the I was going to try, which one's that one? That's what, 99 and 94. Let's try this. Hello to Paul, who's watching. Alice says, moving unboxing still and just put up the washing line. Only been here for 6 weeks. Well, you know, it's a process. I dread to think what it'd be like if we tried to move all of our stuff out of here. I don't even want to go there. Anne has said that we will not be moving again until we retire and move abroad. Seems a very long time to be in one place, but we do really, really love where we live. So, and there is room to grow here. So, you know, I'm not going to cut out the flower because I'm going to. Excuse me, I've just got to blow my nose. Because I only stamped out one, and I think I'm going to use some of the Spring Blooms set to add a bit of colour. So I'm going to zoom back out again. Let me just pop some of these away before I mess everything up. I like to keep on top of putting all my pens away at least. There we go. So let's get you zoomed out, and then we'll die cut these bits. Ooh. Feels like the phone is very warm. It won't let me zoom out. Oh, I've turned you around. Apologies. Don't want to look at the ceiling, do you? So we zoomed out at least. There we go. That's better, isn't it? Okay. Lauren, I know what you mean. All of this craft stuff. You know, it's just doesn't bear thinking about, does it? Moving it all. I do think that I am getting dangerously close to needing a separate space for my what am I doing? A separate space for my for all of the stock. We are definitely bursting at the seams here with all of the stock that we've got, so it definitely feels like that you know a separate facility for all of that is going to be on the cards soon. But that will give us more space back in the house, which is a good thing. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about that yet. It's going to be weird not having everything here, you know. But you know, it's just it is just the circumstances that I think I'm in at the moment now, that it's just we are very much limited on space now. And I've changed that room and that storage room countless times to make more space and more room for more stock, and then more stock keeps arriving. So yeah, it's a good sign though. Could you make or keep working hours? So not in your shed. Oh, we haven't got room for a shed, you know, on our back garden. We would love one. We've got this that's got our you know, our gardening bits in, but in terms of having space for a shed that would be big enough to use as a storage facility, we just don't have it. In a good way, it shows I know business is good. That's very true. And Lauren says it could make you keep better working hours. So I meant where your craft room used to be. I thought that was your shed. Oh no, that was that was what used to be the garage, but it was an integral garage, so it was attached to the side of the house. So before I moved in here, they'd converted it into an actual room space. So it is actually part of the house now. So the front part of it is Aunt's gym, and the back portion of it is what was my office / storeroom, which is now fully committed to being a storeroom, and is now likely to be back to perhaps being either an extension of the gym one day, or maybe a dining room again, like it used to be for a period of time before I took it over. But you know, you've got to pay for storage space, haven't you? And so it's another expense that, you know, you've got to weigh up. Is it worth it, or can we just manage as we are for a while? So I think we will manage as we are for a little while. Like Laura says, I think it will make things perhaps a little bit easier, because probably what I will also do at the time is maybe hire staff, a member of staff to manage orders and things like that, and deal with the inventory and so on, in the wherever it is that we store things. And then I'll still work from home the majority of the time and access it as and when. That's where my head's at the moment. But I mean, who knows what could happen in the next 6 to 12 months? Just don't know, do you? So, okay, I'm just going to snip this down a little bit, because I know that I'm going to cut that out, and I might be able to use that bit of greenery. So I have my, let's have a look here, because I've got a little bit of, figure out what's going to go on this background, can't we now? So we've got one little sloth sitting there, and this little guy sitting here, which is very, very cute. Like it. That's really cute, isn't it? So I'll put these back on here. I don't know whether I'll need much more, to be honest, because I want to keep it fairly clean and simple. So I don't even know if I want to use these. Oh, I've just taken it off thinking I've already cut it and I haven't. Fried brains. So this let's hang out is going to go there. Let's have a look. I've got a couple of little banner dies. I've not used these for ages actually. That one would be very cute. I don't know if I want to use the banner though, or just a plain. Might work better. No, I quite like a banner. We can always cut the banner off if we don't like it, can't we? Let's try the banner then. Okay. So then we've got a few of these little leaves here. We could pop places, or we can slot behind our little sentiment there maybe. It's quite cute. Dream job for a lucky person. I know. Well, the thing is that I will be at the time looking for somebody who can help with all elements of the business. So that might be doing some crafting, some samples, creating boards ready for creating craft for me, helping me put together demonstrations for creating craft, helping at shows and exhibitions. So it would be a great job for someone, definitely. Oh dear. Still need to find a way to try and make that that cord stay plugged in while I'm doing something. Oh dear. Anyway, so yes, it would be. Want to move to Sheffield, says Laura. I know it's. I mean, it's. I think I'm probably about 6 months away from it being the being a reality, but yeah, it is going to be a great job, definitely, for someone. So right, so we've got, oh, this is coming together really cute. I like it. Might put the lighter green behind the relax there, and then maybe the darker one down here. I don't know. I'm not convinced with the extra leaves yet. We're just having a play. I quite like that. And I've got one more leaf, haven't I? Let's cut that one out. Siobhan says she went to Sheffield Uni and loved it there, but had to come back for salary. I know that is often the way, isn't it? What job is it that you do, Siobhan? What did you go to university to do? Often is it's that you have to move to get the job that you really want, the salary that you really want, isn't it? Which is such a shame. And whereabouts have you moved to, Siobhan? I'm sorry if you've already said that, if I should already know that. Like I say, my brain holds a reasonable amount of information, but at some points it all falls out. Right, let's. Hopefully this is the last bit of die cutting we need to do, because I feel like this is coming together quite nicely. Oh, just made it before the lead fell out. You know what, I was just thinking then as well, that just really always amazes me about card making, and why I love it so much, is that it doesn't matter how many times I use this set, it always produces something completely different. And I don't know how it does that. You know, I just think, you know, I see all of your creations as well, and everybody comes up with something completely different, and I just love that about card making, because we can all own the same set but do something totally different with it, can't we? Which is just fabulous. So maybe they need to be swapped. So pop them there. And then maybe them there. Quite cute. Let's see if I like that on screen. So Lauren says, well, I'm in another country up here in Scotland. Family wanted to move further north, so it really wouldn't be for me, except it would be an excellent job for me, I know. She wants to say she's nothing related to what she did, but I worked in Capita, XOXO, and got double the salary in survey. Tried to stay in Sheffield but couldn't. Oh, what a shame. Julie says she wished Sheffield was on her doorstep rather than Bristol, then would be perfect. She thinks the green banner works really well. Fabulous, thank you. My sister worked for Capita. In fact, I think Anne worked for Capita at some point in Surrey. I was going to say I couldn't work out. Yeah, the salaries down south are much better than in the north, aren't they? So I'm happy with that little arrangement. So I'm going to start popping some of this together, I think, while I can remember what I'm going to do. So some of it I'm going to pop up on to some foam pads. Some of it I'm going to just do flat. So I've got my little foam pads. So my little leafy bits I am going to do on foam pads, and on flat. And then the other elements, come here. I can put on foam, raise up on top of them, which would be good. So let's pop that there, and I don't mind that that's overhanging my edge that we've created, because I actually think that looks quite cool as an effect. Relax. That's what we all need to do in this heat, is try and relax. Just chill, isn't it? You don't want to be exerting too much energy. We have been going on a few walks while Ant's been off work. Some really long walks as well. We've done a couple of 7k little walks. Just, you know, nothing too heavy in terms of, you know, we've not been power walking or anything, just having a nice little stroll. Stopped off for a nice scream on one of them, which was really cool. But it was just so hot. We were both very, very tired afterwards, so it's probably not the most advisable thing to be doing in this kind of heat. But you know, just trying to keep moving, because one of the things that I found really tough doing this job is that a lot of it is sat down crafting. I don't have the ability to be able to stand and craft, because I don't have a desk that will raise up in that way. So and I don't really have the room, because I'm using a lot of the space above me for storage. So yeah, so it is a bit it's a bit of a sedentary job, which is not great. So in order to try and keep things moving, we have been trying to do as much exercise as is humanly possible in this evil heat. So is that a bit too wide? I think it is, isn't it? So I'll use some of my shaker tape for that. Some of my lovely shaker tape. Got a little bit here that's just like come off. Siobhan says, if you haven't moved back and worked with Lucy, you wouldn't be crafting. Well, there you go. Sloths are always adorable, they really are. Siobhan says she loves this card. Thank you. It's come together really nicely in the end, I think. Like I say, it's just, I love how doing these types of things, you know, every time you come up with something different. Walking in the heat is brutal. Dan and I are having to wait until 8 p.m. to walk. That's a good time to, I mean, it's not a good time, is it? But it is the best time, because it is just too warm in the day. And I find that here at the moment that sort of 3-4 o'clock is hotter than midday actually is. Which, you know, you kind of expect midday to be your hottest part of the day, don't you? But that doesn't appear to be the case at the moment. We've certainly not found that anyway. Here today it was quite cloudy, I think, really till after midday, till about 1 o'clock time. So, you know, it wasn't too bad earlier on in the day. I'm just going to chop up one of my little foam pads here. I don't think that's going to be too long, isn't it? Let me just chop it again, just because I want it all to be the same height, so I don't want to mix my foam pads, if you see what I mean. So doing a little bit of careful snipping to make these the right size. And trying to hold on to them with my nails. It's not the easiest. Oh, I wonder how Ant's getting on with his poor tooth. Poor guy. He's done well with his days off this week though, because he's had some lovely sunshine. So, and I know that working in this heat in his full the full, you know, kit as a fireman has been pretty hard for them all. So he's going to have I know he's going to have a bit of a tough day tomorrow, I think, in this heat. So we've got a little bit left on that one, so let's pop that on there, and then this one, will that one fit on here? I think it will. Beautiful. And then I just need a tiny bit, oh, I've got a couple of tiny bits. Pop on the end, so I don't want these bits to fall flat. I'm going to add a bit to the end there. Making quite the mess now, aren't I? Let's move this out of the way. Is anybody up to anything at the weekend? Oh, I need to put him upside down then. That would have been funny for him, wouldn't it? So I think my my little flowers ended up in more or less the right place. I would have liked another one there maybe, but I'm not going to stress about it too much. We could go back in and do one, but I don't want to ruin everything. Oh, I've forgotten to put some on the back of there, look. Is that going to be too big? Is it going to be just right? Oh, just right. I'm going to, this one seems a little bit thicker, doesn't it? So, like I say, I'm going to make sure I'm going from the same set. The weekend you've got to sort Harry's present out for his birthday next week while he's at his dad's. Oh right, so some secret squirreling going on. We've got, so I'm doing some kind of secret squirreling. In fact, I don't think my mum will be watching, so hopefully she's not. But I am working on a present for my mum and dad, because it is their anniversary coming up, and they've been married for 50 years, which is amazing to me. I mean, you know, like I've said to them, I don't think I won't be alive that long to be married that long, because I'm not married yet. Come on, Anthony, pull your finger out. So, you know, the chances of me being married for 50 years are pretty slim, I would say. So they have achieved, that is quite an achievement, I feel. And, you know, they're adorable. I love them both to bits. So I'm working on a little bit of a secret project for them. And we're having a little bit of a mini do. My mum and dad aren't ones for like partying and stuff. They're very low key, bless them. Like to just keep themselves to themselves a little bit. So they are. We're just having a little bit of a get together with some close family, and just having a little bit of a meal together. Which I'm so glad that we're able to do, because, you know, for a long time we weren't sure whether we'd be able to do that. So that's going to be really nice. Julie says, wow, 50 years, that's amazing. My parents celebrated their 38th wedding anniversary early this month. 38, you see? I don't even know if I'll make 38, Julie. You know what I'm saying? My mum and dad, 50 years next year, says Laura Ann. It is amazing. It really is. You don't just, I don't think you hear of it that much now, do you? I think it's, I don't know why. And according to my mum's reports, my dad proposed very non-romantically after 3 months of them dating, and they were in the pub just on a date night, and he basically said to her, they were about to go on holiday. I think it was like a couple of days before they went on holiday together, and he said, do you fancy getting married when we get back, or getting engaged when we get back? And that was back from holiday, and that was how the proposal went. So that was very funny, I thought. So I think I put that on fairly straight. I'm quite happy with that. Yeah, I think I quite like how this has come together. I feel like if I had some like little gold bits, maybe I would have done a few more embellishments. But I don't want to ruin things. But I do have a little bit of gold Nouveau drops, I'm sure. Where are they? This is like pale gold. I want a bit of a darker gold, really, though, I think. That is copper, that's no good. Voting around for Nouveau drops. I've got this pale gold, but I want it more of a goldy gold. So let me just got a little bit of a post-it note. I think it might be a little bit too pale. I don't know. Might look quite nice. Quite partial now I've done it. Just had to check that my card opened the right way there. So let me just do, before I do that then, before I make any rash moves there, it's a work night, you're very late. Oh Claire, don't worry, you'll be able to get the replay, don't worry. It's a change because I'm going out tomorrow. Going out in the real world. I'm giving him some little freckles on his cheek, or little like whisker marks. I don't know if I like them now, but we've done it now, so it's done. Add a few highlights here and there, just to make these areas pop a little more. Now we like to do a little bit of jelly roll highlighting. And so we've done some of our favourite techniques today. We have done some jelly roll highlighting, we've done some heat embossing, and we've done some stenciling and some colouring in. Wow. A bit of everything. And for the noses, again, I love to use my black glaze jelly roll pen to add that glaze to the nose. So it just really does make them just stand out that little bit more. And then I think I'm going to do a little couple of these drops. Although I do feel a little bit on the clogged side, but I'm hoping that it's not just going to all erupt and explode all over my project. See, that one's a bit peaky, that one. Might have to just get a little bit of a needle just to make sure that that is flowing freely. That's a bit better. I don't know whether it's the heat or not that's affecting it. But I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's do, where shall we have another one? Maybe here. That's quite good. And the last one can just gone quiet because I'm concentrating, you see. I think that works, doesn't it? We've got a few variety of sizes. It wasn't flowing as freely as I would have liked, but I think it works. And for any that are a little bit on the peaky side, oh, I think the video is frozen. Oh, but it's come back. Is your mat upside down? I'm not sure why, I've just noticed, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it is upside down. The reason that it's upside down is because it's got a little handle at the top, which means that because of where I've got my camera set up, there isn't enough room for me to work on. So I've had to flip it the other way around so that I've got more surface to work on, so that you can see what I'm doing with how the video's set up. So I'm just going to do a little bit of mad tapping on the edge of my desk, just to try and flatten out some of those peaks. That one's still a little bit peaky because it was a bit, I think it was just a little bit, what's the word, a bit clumpy. But that seems to have settled itself down a little bit. So, yay! You're not being silly mentioning it. I did wonder if anybody would notice, you know. So you're the first one to have noticed, or the first one to have noticed and mentioned it anyway, so, which is cute. Right, so zoom in a little bit. Oh, who doesn't want to zoom? There we go. So that's our finished little card with our sloths. Aren't they cute? Oh, I'm so happy with how that's turned out. And I'm happy I've added the extra little bits of gold bling in the background. Oh, thank you, Julie. Yeah, the embossed flowers were just, you know, came out of nowhere. But I think this is sometimes when you start on something, you know, you don't know where it's going to take you sometimes. So I love that, where you've just not got really a full idea of what you're doing, and just you can just be creative, and it all suddenly starts to come together. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how that's turned out. I love this sentiment relax and how it cuts out with the coordinating die as well, and like Annalise said, the banner worked really well. It was the perfect length as well to go from the outside in. So yeah, that's our little sloths. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that it's not been too disruptive for you being on a different day. Oh, you don't have the sloths. Oh dear, maybe you might have to go and check that out, Siobhan. They are such a cute set, they really are. And the little guy that we did, that was in our little tester one when we were doing our pictures, our colour scheme, sorry, with his little blanket, is also very cute, I think. So yeah, do have a look for those on the link that's been provided by some kind Time for Tea DT. And don't forget that we have then 2 lives next week, on Tuesday and on Wednesday, We've got a new release that goes live on Thursday, and I will be on Create and Craft with that new release that day as well. So lots coming up next week, a really, really busy week. I hope it's not as hot as this week because it's going to be tough, but it's going to be really exciting. I can't wait to show all the new products to you because you are going to love them. I know it. The design team have had a ball playing with them. So thank you so much for joining me on this super hot and sweaty. I appreciate you spending the time with me when I know that you've all got so many things going on and you're probably all wilting just like I am. Have a fabulous evening. I hope you all get some sleep in this heat, and I'll see you all next Tuesday if I don't see you before. Thanks guys. See you soon. Take care. Bye bye.